We'll go behind the scenes now for a special look at the making of the latest episode in one of the best-selling computer game series of all time. The original Myst and Riven games proved hugely successful, but now with a new software team producing the sequel, Myst 3 Exile, we went to meet the two men most responsible for the game and asked them how difficult it was to deliver a worthy successor.
There's a tremendous amount of pressure because Presto Studios is a new developer to the Myst line. Myst and Riven were originally done by a company by the name of Cyan, and they set the bar, they set the standard very high. So coming in as new developers, we really had to rise to the occasion. Myst 3 picks up the story 10 years after Riven, and Atris and Catherine have moved to their new home on Tamana. They have a new baby daughter, and Atris has written a new age, and you're sort of invited back again as a visitor to come explore this age.
The design of the game's 5 new ages would prove to be just as important as the story. Each one was designed by a separate team of artists.
In coming up with the ideas for the ages, we first started developing just visual ideas. What would be an interesting world to go to? And as the months progressed, we actually came up with, 4 or 5 main ideas that were distinct enough from each other that we decided to pursue for the game.
In terms of building the worlds, we used a tremendous number of polygons. They're incredibly realistic. Every single stone or rock in the world is unique.
In terms of the graphics, we've chosen to use photorealistic, pre-rendered graphics displayed through a real-time technology. And what that allows us to do is create photorealistic worlds, but let the player look 360 degrees around themselves.
For these worlds to seem realistic, they needed life. So each individual creature had to be modeled from the pre-production sketches, animated to move realistically, and then given color and texture to bring the scene to life. For the human characters in the game, the developers decided to use full-motion video. This meant independently filming actors like Academy Award nominee Brad Dourif, Atris's evil adversary, and adding them to the game at a later stage.
We shot on 2 stages for an entire week, and we used very professional gear, and we were able to reverse engineer shooting these people on video and then putting them into the 3D world. And so the marriage of these beautiful photographic worlds with this real live character is totally convincing. These people are walking around in these ages.
What made the original game so accessible was the quality of the game's puzzles. In the Myst series, puzzles are the gameplay, and much of the new game's success would depend on these.
The puzzles in Myst 3 are very similar to the puzzles in Myst and Riven. There's a traditional style that's set there. The puzzles themselves are mechanical in nature, they are organic in nature, many of them are visual, many of them are sound. There's a tremendous amount of variety.
As well as custom creating the sound effects, the developers recorded the game's music using a 51-piece orchestra to give this adventure game a final touch of class.
Adventure games have really only started, they've only come about in the last 15 years. And it was 7 years ago that Myst came out and redefined the genre. And we really want Myst 3 to be the definitive adventure game of all time.
To see whether Myst 3 Exile lives up to its expectations, keep watching Cybernet for our definitive review coming soon.